Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 46th ever episode of the Best Phone Plans Podcast. I'm Stetson,
And I'm Dennis.
and we're with you here today live for Patreon supporters. So shout out to Hector who is joining us live. We've got a great show planned out. We've got Galaxy S21 FE links. We've got Pixel 6 Pro, I should say, 5G speed test results, how it performed on the different networks. Mint Mobile possibly coming to Canada, Cricket new plans, Qualcomm releasing some new modems. And Dennis, you found this one, a Reddit user scoring 999 gigabytes of bonus data. So it's going to be a show. But first of all, Dennis, how are you doing today?
I am doing well. As the most loyal of listeners know, I am moving on to a new job, and I've had this whole week off in the meantime as I transfer over into this new position, which is exciting.
That is really exciting. How has your time off been?
It's been solid, honestly. For people that don't have free time to suddenly get free time, I'm sure you know this feeling, but I have so much free time that I don't know what to do with.
Well, we know what we're going to do for about the next hour, and is talk about telecom news. Dennis, where would you like to start us off today? We got so many delightful topics and juicy takes to sprinkle in here. Um,
Yeah, let's. I feel like we should start with Pixel 6, your speed test, since that's like the bee's knees
100%.
right now.
So, if for anyone listening, if you missed it, I did the Pixel 6 Pro versus Galaxy S21 versus iPhone 13 5G speed test video. You can watch it right now live on the main channel. And basically, what I found, I tested on T-Mobile mid-band 5G, Verizon millimeter wave, Verizon low-band 5G, and AT&T low-band 5G. I missed T-Mobile low band because I literally couldn't find it here in Longmont, and I just got tired of driving around. I drove for like 2 hours in a big circle around the city, and I missed out on AT&T millimeter wave because it's just not in Colorado. But yeah, other than that, I basically feel from the testing that it performed decent enough. Like I don't think it matters. It finished second place, I think, for two of the tests, and it was third for millimeter wave. But overall, I was like, yeah, like it's good. It's not like you're severely handicapped, in my opinion. Dennis, have you seen it? What did you think of some of those results?
Yeah, so I mean, I thought it was interesting. Specifically the upload results being different
Yeah,
across the phones, specifically with the S21 and iPhone 13 having different results since they're using the
same
same
modem,
modem.
right? Yeah,
Right. Um and I know that I had questions coming in from some of the people in the Discord. I was hoping that my thought process on these different results, specifically with the X60 modems, is that it's probably software based, honestly. I'm willing to gander that there was a chance that the phones were connecting to different bands. Like when you were doing the Verizon test, you pointed out that the S21 was locking on, I want to say it was like N2, whereas the
yep,
iPhone and the Pixel were locking on the N5, and it had drastically different results as far as the performance.
yeah, and I thought that was really interesting too. I mean, I wish I could have done like the same exact test, but I was just going to the same location. Like literally, the phone is in the same physical point in space and running these tests. And it looks like they were connecting to possibly different connections, as you noticed. And on one hand, I was a little disappointed by that. On the other hand, I feel like that is kind of real world results. Like you're going to just show up somewhere, your phone's going to connect, and like that's that. There's nothing you can really do about it.
Yeah, but I just thought it was really interesting how the phones decided to connect to what. But the reason why I wanted to talk about this was because Stetson, I don't know if you were aware, but there's people that are actually chiming in online that the Pixel 6 is having problems connecting to T-Mobile's N41.
That is interesting. So the ultra capacity mid-band 5G from T-Mobile, um, I did not notice that. So what I did notice is when I would switch SIM cards between the phones, it iPhone was usually the quickest to connect, but I noticed the S21 and Pixel 6 Pro sometimes did have delays. When I did the ultra capacity 5G test, Pixel 6 Pro took a long time to connect. Like it wasn't connecting. I was like, am I even going to be able to do this? Maybe like 5-10 minutes, and then it picked it up. Again, I have no idea what to do. Like I'm throwing it in airplane mode on and off and wasn't getting it. But once I had it and the SIM was in the phone for a while, just driving around, I feel like I was connected pretty consistently. But
Yeah,
it
our
sounds
good
like this isn't always the case.
No, yeah, our good friend Sneed actually just put up a video maybe a few hours ago, uh, showing that he wasn't able to connect to N41 on his Pixel 6.
Huh. That's crazy. I wonder, yeah, I'd be curious um if like what the performance is like in that location for other phones, and also how recently he had swapped in the SIM card. I would say I noticed like when I put the SIM card in, it would take a while. And I even showed actually when the S21 was getting terrible speeds on Verizon low band, and I was like on LTE, it did great. It was actually stuck on LTE for like again 5 to 10 minutes before it actually switched over and got that 5G signal. So from my experience, at least, it seems when you're first inserting the SIM card, it takes a while, but and that could be for I'm not going to say what Sneed was doing, but possibly if he was doing testing, maybe he swapped it in. But otherwise, I feel like once I've had it in the phone for a while, it seems pretty reliable.
Yeah, so big picture though, what's the phone to get for 5G? Like if you want the best 5G phone, what's the move?
Right now, I mean, it's almost like let's answer the best 5G phone. If I'm getting the best 5G phone right now, I personally feel like it's the iPhone. And the reason I'm saying it's the iPhone is it did very well on all tests. It finished first on the AT&T low band test and did really well on AT&T in general. It finished first on the Verizon millimeter wave test, which was probably the most surprising for me, Dennis. Like it wasn't just ahead by a little bit on millimeter wave. This was a solid 1.5 times faster than Galaxy S21 and 2 times faster than Pixel 6 Pro. On millimeter wave, it got over 4 gigabits per second compared to just 2 gigabits per second on Pixel 6 Pro and about like 2.5, 2.7 on the S21. So I think right now I'd go iPhone 13. And then if you're a Samsung user, we're at the point where I think you should probably consider waiting for the S22, which is going to have that newer modem. What are your thoughts right now?
I'm going to surprise you. I'm going to agree with you. I think the
Wow.
iPhone
Yeah.
13 is the best phone for 5G at the moment. It works across all the carriers. It, generally speaking, has the best performance. It's the phone to have if you want a 5G capable phone.
Yeah.
I will add one caveat to that, though, just a tiny one. If you're on T-Mobile, I still think that having a Galaxy S21 may be better. And the specific reason for that is because of band switcher. Being able to actually
Yep.
force a connection to specific bands is important, because one thing I've noticed with T-Mobile, and this is specifically guilty for iPhone, is that it likes to lock on to band 71 and it doesn't want to unlock from it. Like you have to cycle.
And that's the slower 5G band, just so everyone knows.
Right, but it likes to force a connection to band 71 and prefer to lock onto that instead of connecting to N41 is something I've noticed.
100%. And we do have actually Chame joining us in the chat. Chame, thank you for being here. Z Fold and Z Flip 3 is solid on 5G connectivity. I definitely believe that. And as Dennis mentioned, those could be great options on T-Mobile to get that band selector. I think the other thing that surprised me is that Verizon locks you out of the Samsung service mode, which I was disappointed by. I think you can get it unlocked. There was a thread on Reddit I saw, but did not execute on just yet. But yeah, I think my synopsis is Pixel 6 Pro. I thought it was fine, but it wasn't outstanding. And I think that's kind of what you expect from a 1-year-old modem. It was the Samsung Exynos. That's how you pronounce that, apparently. Thank you for everyone who Exynos. Commented on that is the 5123. So I'm going to say that modem. And so we'll see what happens next year. Do you think Google will make their own modems, or do you think they'll continue partnering? They're going to partner with Samsung. They're in the bed with Samsung right now. They got it going on. They got the eyebrow raise situation.
I mean, Stetson, Google couldn't make their own modems even if they wanted to.
Is that because of licensing, or?
Yeah, they don't have the licenses for the bands. Like
Wow.
Literally, if they wanted to make their own, well, let me rephrase that. If they wanted to make their own modem, they'd have to invest a crazy amount of money into R&D, tooling, and then also they'd have to pay a butt ton of royalties to either Samsung, Apple, since they own the Intel segment of the modems, or Qualcomm to get the licenses needed to support the bands.
That's fascinating. Yeah. Well, it's definitely going to be Samsung, so we'll see what happens. And yeah, I just want to round this out. Chame, again, Samsung blocks service mode on Verizon's behalf. It's true. It's disappointing, but it's true. So I couldn't tell you what I was connected to on millimeter wave. I was like, how much capacity is there here? Because it was insane. So I think that's the Pixel 6 Pro 5G speed test. Where are we headed next, Dennis?
Well, I actually wanted to round out something because you'd asked me something about the Pixel 6.
Oh,
Sorry.
well, let's dive right back in.
Okay, sorry. I was just gonna say, as far as the results go, yeah, like you were saying, it's good enough. I was gonna say, in all sincerity, I don't think anybody's gonna notice the difference between 2.5 and 4 GB.
Yeah,
So like,
yeah,
people don't freak
yeah.
out. Also, that being said, though, this is still the closest thing to an Apple equivalent on Android that you can get. Like, it still plays nice. At least it works on all the networks from what we can tell. There's been a few rumored hiccups, but a lot of it just seems like it's software based, and I'm sure it will get better. That's what I wanted to say.
100%.
Now we can move on. Let's talk about, on the topic of phones, let's talk about Galaxy S21 FE leaks. So, Stetson, I don't think I sent this to you in the Discord, but I'm going to send it to you now. If you look up the Galaxy S21 model number, there's actually firmware available for download for the Xfinity Mobile version of the phone. I'm going to link that to you right now. And
No way. So it's coming.
Yeah.
I think we know it's coming, but it's just been when. That's been the biggest question.
Here, I'm linking it to you right now. Well, I'm linking a snippet to you, is what I should say. Copy image.
Gotcha. Anyway, while you're doing that, I just want to quickly mention for anyone who is interested in the Pixel 6 Pro speed test, Patreon supporters already have the full list of results. And this actually includes iPhone 13 versus iPhone 12, Pixel 6 Pro versus Pixel 5, and I even did Galaxy S21 versus Galaxy S20. So definitely take that into consideration. Dennis, you want me to pop this up on the screen so we can take a look?
Yeah, I do.
I got it, yeah. I'll zoom in for you and we can pop it up. Wow, so there is actually a model number. This is crazy.
So
what do you think this means?
Yeah, so I was gonna say, I'm not gonna share too much about how I found out about the model number, but what this means is that it's definitely gonna be coming. There's lots of like third-party websites that have been talking about it, but this is actually like confirmed software that you can download for the device.
So they already have software for a device that isn't out yet. How different is it going to be from an S21? Like they already got the plastic back.
I mean,
dude, the
I'm
S21 was the S21 FE in my opinion.
I'm not sure if we can go off it, but Phone Arena actually has the phone up with the probable specs. Are you familiar with Phone Arena, Stetson?
Yeah. Wait, is this GSM Arena?
Yeah, GSM Arena. Sorry.
Yeah, all good. Let's do Galaxy S21 FE. See what we got. I mean, I'm expecting. Wow, they already have it up. They already have an alleged image of it. It's like the phone. They're expecting. It was expected in October. Dennis, what day is today?
November 3rd.
It did not happen in October. I think it was pushed back to January's, the latest I've heard. But we have basically all the specifications here. Let's see if we get. Does it say the modem and everything? Like that's what I'm most interested in.
I believe it's going to be having
888
X60.
Yep. So it looks like basically the same thing as the S21. Not 100% sure. Get out of here, dual SIM. Get out of here. Get out of here. It doesn't deserve to be here. 1080p display. Yeah. I don't know. I honestly don't know what's going to be different about this and the regular S21, but it's coming soon. What do you think the price will be?
Well, you were saying what's going to be different, cheaper cost. I'm going to say it's probably going to come at like, I'm going to say it probably comes in at like $800.
Dude, that's expensive. The regular S21 you can probably get for like $700 right now.
New or off a swap?
Let me see. Let me pull it in. Galaxy S21 is going for $820. This is unlocked on Amazon. And when it first came out, I'm pretty sure you could have gotten it for like $750 or maybe even like $650 with some sort of deal. I just remember being very upset that I purchased it full price and then it immediately went on sale. And I think it was like $100 discount.
How much is it going for off of Samsung? That's the real question.
I think
Samsung charges.
Buy
Okay,
used, 625.
Samsung charges $800 for it. Okay, wow, I didn't realize it came down in cost so much. Maybe I should get an S21. but but
That's what it launched at, Dennis.
really? Okay, well
Yeah, yeah.
then,
It was the Plus and the Ultra that were more expensive. You're probably thinking of the Plus. That was probably 1,000.
yeah, the plus was 1,000, correct? Is still 1,000, but okay, if it's not gonna be 800, then I'm gonna guess 650.
I think 650. I think if they can do 600, it would just take a munch out of the Pixel 6 sales. Because the two things Pixel 6 have going for it right now, number one, availability. You can actually buy it. And number two, price to performance. $600 for what you're getting with Pixel 6, I feel is a great value, it's a great deal, and it's available. So if Samsung could come in and either like match that price point and have phones available, I think Samsung fans would love it. I think all of the carriers would love it. We actually had T-Mobile complaining to Samsung, like, "Hey, give us more phones. Like our customers want phones," and
I'm
they're just dealing with
calling it.
like.
I'm calling it right now. That ain't happening.
You're right. If the regular S21 is out of stock and not available, then how are they going to get an S21 FE?
That's not the thing I was touching on. I mean, availability is also going to be an issue, but no, I'm talking about the pricing. I'm saying
Yeah,
there's no way that they go down to Pixel 6 level pricing. Like,
it'll probably be 650 to 700, I think.
yeah, I mean, just thinking about it like this, Samsung has got to price this in line with what like an actual Pixel 6 millimeter wave costs, because this has support for millimeter wave based off the rumors, right?
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. So that would be literally 700, or if you're AT&T, 740 US dollars.
But I'm thinking 650 only because it's a more even-ish number, and I feel like Samsung would probably intentionally want to do something to actually bring it down. Otherwise, why not just get an S21? Like, why make a whole different SKU?
Yeah, I'm honestly wondering when this comes out, what the enticement, like why get this over an S21? Are they like converting old S21 units? I don't know. And it's going to be coming out literally right before the Galaxy S22 launches. Plus, I'll throw this in just as a spicy take, and you almost saw this coming already. On Swappa, you can probably already look, you can buy used for 625. I'm guessing you can find one going for a similar price on Swappa. So, like, that would be my number one recommendation. Just go Swappa. So, anyway, I don't think it'll be worth it. I think going used S21 will be way better. I think going with the S22 when it launches will also be better.
Dude, S22 is going to be the move. S21 was not a good phone this year. Like, it
You
just
didn't like
wasn't.
it? I actually really like it. I think the design is solid. It's got a fast fingerprint reader. I love the flat display. It's 1080p. I don't notice that's not my wheelhouse. And yeah, they took away the expandable storage. That's a pretty big bummer actually. But overall, I'm happy with it. I thought it was a good price performance, even with the plastic back and some of its I'll call them side grades or downgrades, but I liked it. But I'm excited, I think, for the X65 modem, most of all, put that to the test.
That's what I'm excited about, too. That's when 5G is going to start feeling actually good, because that will be the first modem that can carry or aggregate standalone 5G bands. So,
Sweet. So then we just need standalone 5G and
yeah.
more, yeah, broader
Speaking
deployment.
Speaking of 5G, why don't we talk about quite possibly one of the best plans out there that no one really knows about on the Verizon network?
Whoa. Best plans out there. No one knows about it on the Dennis. I would know about this. It's got to be. Oh man, no one knows about it. Is it like? Did they fix Verizon Unlimited? Wait, Verizon Start Unlimited? Did they fix that?
No, this is for existing loyal customers that were on the old like ice cream plans, big,
Wait,
extra big.
Dennis, stop. You're telling me the secret best plan on the Verizon network, and what you called this an unlimited plan, is a capped data bucket plan from like 5 years ago?
Yeah, let's get into it. So, Verizon, for existing customers that are on those old bucket plans, is offering a data add-on for bonus data for $10 per month. That's it. And this gives you basically a terabyte, just shy of a terabyte of data to use, which is effectively, in my mind, basically an unlimited plan.
This is more unlimited than their current plans, debatably. And my question was like, is hotspot supported? And then I thought about it for a second and was like, yes, hotspot has to be supported because it's a data bucket plan, so it wouldn't matter.
Right.
Oh my god. So
And because it's one of the older plans, no video cap.
no video cap. My big two questions were, hotspot, video cap. My third one, does this plan get 5G? Because I know they've previously been promoting like, oh, you need to upgrade to the new plans to get 5G. So that's one question I have. I don't know if we know the answer, but it was
For
$10 per month.
from my understanding, you get access to low band 5G, but if you want millimeter
Yep,
wave, it's a bolt on that you have to buy that you can add on to these legacy plans, and I believe it adds $10 if you want the millimeter wave 5G.
that's worth it. So do you think it's worth it? This individual is paying right now
130 and 20.
130.20, and let's say it says purchase data upgrade, so we're assuming the purchase has not gone through. Let's say it's $140.20 for 3 lines. What do you think of that?
Absolutely worth it. Are you kidding me? Absolutely, 100%. Dude, let's look at Verizon real quick. Can you pull up the Verizon website real quick so we can look at the current unlimited plan pricing for 3 lines?
I'm actually a little bit on the edge here, so I'm curious, what your thoughts are. So we'll bump down 3 lines. All right,
All
yeah,
right.
3 lines. Never mind.
Yeah, 3 lines on Verizon. You're paying 55 a line, which works out to, what is that, Stetson? Help me do math.
55 times 3,
That's
165.
165. Okay, that's like $30 more, or excuse me, $25 more
Yeah,
expensive.
25 bucks more.
Yeah, $25 more expensive than what he's doing, and you're getting way more hotspot, effectively unlimited. I mean, it's all priority data, right? Like it's all priority.
Yeah. Oh, that's actually the sweet spot. Wow.
Dude, that is balls to the walls nuts good. Like that is great. That is great. Okay. Like that, you're not going to convince me otherwise. This is way better than Verizon's current plans right now. I don't care about Hulu. I don't care about Disney Plus. This is better. And it's cheaper.
It's cheaper. I'm just in awe right now that this individual was able to get this. Yeah. The priority data, the hotspot functionality, it's literally what you want. You want a solid cell phone plan. This is it. It's none of the fluff, none of the extras. Like they are missing out on perks, and here's actually the proof that it works. But yeah, wow.
Dude, notice something else real quick. Carryover data.
Interesting. So wait, can he compound this? Will it roll over?
Yeah, there's rollover data with these old plans.
I bet it looks like it uses the bonus data first and will probably just roll over the 16 gigs of data.
Probably. I was gonna say honestly, do you know what this reminds me of from like an offer code standpoint? It makes me think of T-Mobile when they first introduced Magenta Max. If you looked at it, it was like you got multiple 100 gig buckets.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah.
This is what it reminds me of. Effectively, this is an unlimited plan, effectively speaking. I mean, let's be real here, Stetson. Like seriously.
Dennis, we're coming from the world, or I'm coming from the world of MVNOs, where they're like, 25 gigs is unlimited, everybody. So this is like, it's unlimited. Like you could use that as much as you want on your phone and never hit a terabyte.
I'll put it this way: if you're using over a terabyte, you're probably gonna have other problems to begin with Verizon. Like,
yeah.
Like this is great. Now, I will just say, unfortunately, it doesn't benefit new people at all.
Doesn't benefit new people. And do we know if this is like permanently available, or is it like a glitch this guy got?
This is not a glitch. This is something available to other people. I know because I have family members who were on the old Verizon.
Oh my god!
And
did you see this and tell them?
Yes, what I did was I logged into their account to see if it was an option. It's there. I didn't add it for them because
they probably don't need it.
They don't need it.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to see if it would show up.
Oh my god. That is golden.
I will just say one thing though. There's one other thing I will say. There is one plan in my mind that's still better than this. Can you take a guess what it is?
I actually do have a guess.
Okay. Go.
You're probably gonna pull up the Los Mobile.
Yep. It's the lowest mobile line. Lowest mobile plan is the only one that's better than this, and I mean that sincerely, and here's why. It's truly unlimited priority data. Like, there is no...
You could go over 999 gigabytes. Actually,
Right.
you could go over 1015.9 gigabytes or whatever it is.
Right. But more importantly is, you were talking about the whole 5G access thing. The lowest mobile plan already has access to the whole suite of 5G flavors.
Yeah.
Out the gate.
But lowest mobile is AT&T. That is an important distinction right now, at least.
No, I'm talking about the lowest mobile Verizon access specifically.
Okay. Well, that's not available yet. So
not available yet. I'm just talking about the one that I'm personally getting the chance to use.
Okay, your plan, Dennis. You're on the God tier plan.
Right.
Excuse you, just flaunting your plan over here.
No.
You're right.
But if we're talking about best plan overall, the lowest mobile AT&T access is the best. That's true unlimited hotspot and true unlimited data.
I actually have a plan in mind that might be... It's 95% of what Los Mobile is offering for $20 less per month.
Is it Cricket?
It is Cricket. And this was insane. I kind of glanced over this when the news broke. I was thinking about it, Dennis. I think Cricket's new unlimited more plan is the single best unlimited plan in the industry right now for individuals. Honestly, and for families.
For families, the regular limited is the best. $25 a line.
All right, dude, check Cricket out. The reason, I'm just going to pull it up for the live stream so everyone can check this out. The reason I think it's the single best unlimited plan is you are getting, here it is, unlimited premium data that won't slow down based on your usage. Dennis, this is legitimately like AT&T Unlimited Elite.
No,
will not slow down.
Whoa. Pause. It's not unlimited elite. Unlimited elite has a higher QCI value than this.
Okay, so it's like unlimited extra. It's better than unlimited extra.
It's extra. There you go.
But yeah, and it's $55 a month with autopay. Like, I don't think there's a single plan that has this much priority data and this much hotspot data in the industry. It's so good. And 3 lines, $37, 4 lines, $33. That's all taxes and fees included. It's so good.
It is good, but I will just say if you don't need hotspot, the regular unlimited is better.
Yeah, it is still deprioritized, but
dude, for 4 lines for $100,
you can't beat it. My friends are on this one. Wait a minute. I should actually get them to... Yeah. Oh, my God. I'm actually going to call them like today, and we'll let them know that they should switch ASAP. The reason I was holding off is because I think it was the data speed cap. I think this one used to be... speed cap.
Yeah.
This one... Well, this is deprioritized, and this one I had priority, and they were both at 8 megabits per second, I think. But now that I'm seeing that this is cheaper, like, I'll tell them to switch because they won't notice, and they'll appreciate that it's cheaper.
Yeah, I mean, the 480p, though.
Dude, I'm pretty sure this one's at 480p as well.
I don't think it is.
Am I mistaken on that? I literally was testing it out, so I will have to check my script.
I think with the changes, there's no video. Let me rephrase that. There's Stream Saver by default, like, turned on, but you can actually turn it off, whereas with the unlimited plans, you can't.
Yeah, I think that sounds right. I think I remember doing a video on how to turn it off that is in the queue to be edited. So I think you're right.
But I'm gonna starchly disagree with you. I'm sorry, Stetson. I'm gonna staunchly...
This is not the best plan. This is not the best plan for Dennis. What is your top pick right now?
Well, if we're talking about if it can't be Los, then I'm still going back to the one that we always talked about, which is the original OG AT&T prepaid unlimited option.
I think this is better than that.
I disagree with you.
Why?
Because the OG AT&T prepaid unlimited option gives you HD video streaming, I believe.
And that's it. That's your... I mean, you're looking at $60 a month with autoplay plus taxes and fees, so like $62. So you're already saving $7 a month with Cricket. Dennis, I think you could slap up a VPN with that extra cash, be at net same, and get unlimited priority data as opposed to just 22 gigabytes.
But this plan regularly goes on promo. Like, it wasn't that long ago that we were talking about this only being $50.
Yeah, well, it's not $50 right now. What you gonna do?
Well, I didn't realize it went back up to 60, but
Okay. Fair. It's fair. That's fair. If this was still 50, it would technically be cheaper than Cricket and deliver about the same with the HD streaming.
but I don't know. I would prefer to have that. And honestly, yeah, I would prefer to have that. Like, I would rather have that plan if it can't be Los, and I still think Los is better than all the plans that we're talking about because truly unlimited hotspot and truly unlimited data
Yeah.
with unlimited priority. And from a cost standpoint, it has tax and fees included, and it's only $65.
Actually, it can be even less than $65. You can get it for as low as $55 if you use our new exclusive Patreon discount that's available for all Patreon members and supporters. And you can join.
Not available for all. It's available for the people that subscribe to the $20 tier.
$20 tier. Well, isn't there one for the... There's
There's
two options, basically. $5 off.
discount for the extra content, which is $4. Although we need to make that $5 and correct that on the Patreon. But
Yeah.
$5 for the $5, eventually going to be $5 tier, and then $10 off for the people that subscribe to the $20 tier at the moment.
There you go. So yeah, and you can join. There's a link up there and in the video description if you're interested. Ryan is coming at us with a question, Dennis. How is AT&T at deprioritizing?
AT&T deprioritization isn't
I don't think
as
you should.
bad.
I don't think you should worry about it at all, Ryan. That's like I signed up and did side-by-side tests of Cricket, AT&T, Los Mobile, all at like airports and congested areas. I didn't really notice too much of a difference. So I think you're going to be fine.
I don't notice a difference in my market, but AT&T has so much capacity it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't think it matters.
The biggest thing that I notice it on, really, truly speaking, has to do with uploads. The upload.
Oh,
bandwidth.
really?
Mm-hmm. That's the biggest area that I notice it. Like,
yeah, and people aren't really uploading. I mean, maybe you are, but I think most people are consuming data,
not on my
downloading.
phone data.
Oh,
And,
okay.
Yeah, not on my phone data, do know. But I'm just saying that's the area where I noticed it. Now I will just say, uploads and ping time. Ping time is the other area where I notice like a difference when it comes to priority values, right? Especially when it's like something like Cricket, which I believe Cricket still gets loaded through a different like.
Yeah, they definitely have higher ping times. I don't know 100% why, but you're correct.
So yeah, like those are the two things that I noticed. I will also just say that like I think priority matters for all networks to a certain extent. And the reason why I'm going to bring this up real quick is think about this real fast. Let's flash back to like 2020, right? Remember when I was testing out US Mobile and I thought Verizon Networks was poo-poo?
Yeah.
Because I was deprioritized. Now, fast forward now, and I have a priority access data on Verizon Network, and I'm like, wow, it's actually really good. I think that could happen to an AT&T. If it's like an area where AT&T doesn't have god tier networking, like in my market, then I think priority could make a difference. I mean, Stetson, even at your house, right? Like AT&T isn't that strong, right?
Yeah, it's terrible, but it doesn't matter like what I'm using. It's slow on everything.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, so it's kind of like if it's slow on everything. So I was actually just pulling up some speed tests. Yeah, this is great. So I'll pull this up and add it to the stream right now. Thankful that past Stetson did all this work and labeled everything because I don't have any of these saved. I do have them saved, but I don't know where they are. So this is, just so you know, Cricket Unlimited More. Actually, I'll just show this thread. I did a speed test at the Boston Logan Airport, and you can see, let's see if I can't bounce between these. This is Unlimited Starter, deprioritized, great speeds. This is Extra, has priority. Again, great speeds. I think Starter was actually a little bit faster. We got Elite, actually a little bit slower. There might have been more people coming in. And then we had Cricket. Cricket definitely slower, but not by much and still great performance. So this is at an airport too. I don't know. Like my point with AT&T is I think it matters a lot less than the other networks. I think it matters the most on Verizon. I think it probably matters a little bit on T-Mobile, but with their new N41, it's mattering a lot less.
No, T-Mobile, it matters because
Really?
T-Mobile. Well, here's the thing, man. AT&T and Verizon have very robust QCI setups where they can like really like take a scalpel to control like the bandwidth so that everybody should in theory get a fairly usable experience. T-Mobile is like taking a hammer to it. They're like you either got priority or or you're hard deprioritized and you're getting like 30% of the speed that everybody else gets to enjoy.
Yeah, I don't know. I felt like it was pretty consistent for me on the MVNO experience and the
All right,
like when I
Stetson,
tested it.
I'm best example of this. You ready?
Sure.
Let's say you wanted to run a speed test in my market, right? You're at my
Yeah.
house.
Yeah.
I have Magenta Max. I'm barely able to get 30 megabits per second. You're gonna get 30% of that.
Well, Mint Mobile, I think you get more on an MVNO. You get like I want to say 60.
Okay, 60% of 30 meg though is only like, I don't know, 15, maybe 20.
Yeah. I mean, that's still fine. I'm fine with that.
and
Like,
and if it's really congested, you're getting deprioritized much further.
yeah, well, everyone is. I mean, that's the thing with
Not
priority.
not me though. I'm Magenta Max. I'm
Well, how many other Magenta Max people are there now in the market? Like, no matter what, like if a cell site's busy, everyone's slowing down. It's just like the degree to which you slow down. And I think from what I've heard, it's the bigger deal on Verizon because they're
for sure.
yeah. So that's why I'm thinking like AT&T are probably fine. T-Mobile, I want to say most people are going to be fine, and like it's observable, but maybe you won't like really notice that much of a difference. And then I think Verizon is like the real. Sometimes you really need it. So that I don't know. That's my rank order.
I mean, I'm not going to argue that Verizon is at the worst. I'm just saying that T-Mobile, it does matter.
It does matter. Yeah,
Unless,
I don't know. I've never noticed. Like
well, Stetson, your market for whatever reason has been blessed by the T-Mobile gods, where they somehow
they're
decided
like,
to actually
oh my god,
invest.
Stetson lives here. Guys,
Yeah.
guys, come over here, light it up, light this, everything in this, everywhere, just on. Yes, do it.
But for the vast majority of the rest of T-Mobile's network that's actually grounded in reality, where you're connecting to like congested N71 and maybe some band 66, priority absolutely matters.
Sure. I want to put that to the test as a video. I'll get my Mint Mobile line and I'll go out there, Dennis, and I will test side by side.
Come to Pittsburgh, bro. Come to Pittsburgh.
It will be slow, and I will show that, I don't know, maybe I'll show that you're either really deprioritized or maybe it doesn't matter.
But let's change gears since we brought up Mint. You notated about Mint Mobile possibly going to Canada.
To Canada? This was so funny when I saw it. So there is a secret video on YouTube, Dennis. This is unlisted, okay? And we've got it. Mint Mobile put up a banner in Canada, a billboard ad, and I will just play this video. If we go on YouTube, you can see it is unlisted. So
wait, before you play it, is this going to be okay? Are we going to get flagged?
No, it's not going to be flagged.
Okay.
They did. I'll show you. It's at, let's see, right. Scrubbing through video. There it is. Boom. So Mint Mobile bought a billboard in Canada. It says, why not Mint? Visit mintmobile.ca. And if you go to mintmobile.ca, that's where this video is. So I know it's totally cool. And the bottom line is Ryan Reynolds is from Canada. And Canada is a country that is known for their high cellular bills. So I think they're trying to go to Canada. And basically the message of this video is it's Ryan working at like a call center. It's really just like a funny skit. He's great. And he's like, hey, I'm not telling you to call your representative, but I'm also not telling you to call your representative. Call to action being basically call your representative, get Mint Mobile in Canada, get MVNOs in Canada, and make it happen so people can get low-cost wireless service.
I just watched it while you were talking. First off, I love Ryan Reynolds so much.
You would not believe it. I saw him in this movie called Free Guy. Like we sat down to watch the film. It started playing, and I was like, "Oh my god, that's the owner of Mint Mobile on screen right now." Blew me away.
They included it with Mint Mobile subscriptions. You got a free copy of.
Unbelievable. That is what happens when you get wireless pioneers in the film industry.
But anywho, Ryan Reynolds is a great guy. I really hope at some point we can get him on. But focusing more in line with Mint Mobile, if Mint Mobile gets into Canada, they're going to dominate that market, dude. They have literally so little competition.
There is no competition, actually, Dennis.
If Mint Mobile comes in there and is somehow, even if they have to charge $5 more than they do in the US, if they come in there with the price that they do, dude, there is no reason you shouldn't be just snagging up Mint right away, because I know what my Canadian brothers and sisters have to pay, and my heart cries out to you.
Yeah, I think if they go to Canada, it'd be a no-brainer basically. Like they got to dominate customer service and support, and they're there. Like if they're cheaper, they deliver good service and experience, game over. I really hope there is more competition. Like we had Dot Mobile on, and I think it would be awesome to see them in Canada as well. It'd be awesome to see any MVNO. I think Ryan can really bring it home with his marketing, his branding. He's got this great YouTube channel. I think would really resonate with a lot of his fellow Canadians and would yeah, it'd be awesome.
So here's a question for you. What network do you think they'll use in Canada if they manage to get into Canada? Do you think they'll use
Oh
Bell?
man. Does it even matter? Like they're all kind of roaming on each other. It's just like they basically divided the country up into thirds, is my understanding. Each one built a network in one third of the country, made roaming agreements with the other, and called it a day. So I have no idea.
I think it absolutely matters, because if you think about how Mint works in the U.S., they don't have access to all T-Mobile's roaming agreements. So
This is true. This is true.
So there's three options in case you're not familiar, Stetson. There's
It's
Bell, Rogers, and Telus.
Boom. I mean, I would just be throwing a dart at the dartboard. Telus.
Okay. I think that it would probably be either Bell or Rogers.
Are you saying that just to disagree with me, or do you have this actual reasoning? One of us is correct.
There's actual reasoning. Bell and Rogers are bigger networks in the Canadian market than Telus.
Meaning what? Like they have more subscribers, or
like Bell and Rogers are basically like the AT&T and Verizon of Canada.
Gotcha.
And
well,
I think that if Mint's going to do it, they're going to probably want to pick the network that has better coverage. And I imagine as far as pricing goes, they're probably all going to charge similar roaming agreements. So it's going to come down to network quality and tech.
I guess. I mean, I don't know the details, and I don't even know if this is happening. I would say maybe Telus has fewer subscribers because it's got poor coverage. So maybe that's the angle. I mean, if you think about in the US market, when Mint launched on T-Mobile in 2016, 2017, I think T-Mobile wasn't actually that good when it came out. Like it was still a growing network. Mint really brought affordability to a new level on them, brought their customer service and experience. So my guess, I could be wrong, this is a guess, but I would say maybe Telus, if they do have a weaker network, maybe they have fewer subscribers, maybe they're looking to gain subscribers. Therefore, maybe they'd be more open to brokering a deal with more affordable rates that Mint Mobile can use to help bring customers to their network. I don't know. That's some logic based on knowing almost nothing about this and slapping some stuff out there.
Yeah, I'm looking up the subscriber count as we talk. And based off subscribers, first off, Canada apparently has way less cell phone connected people than I thought they would. But based off subscribers, Telus actually has the most subscribers.
So maybe I'm mistaken. So then the other ones with better
Bell
networks
and Rogers have roughly the same amount of people.
It could be a toss-up.
But look, here's something I was just thinking about though while we were talking about this. What do you think it'll mean for the U.S. market? Do you think that we'll see Mint Mobile get native roaming now in Canada if they make their way into Canada? Similar to how AT&T did with Mexico?
I think they would get way better roaming plans. I think it would be a bolt-on, or they would consider working something out where they could like send you a Canadian SIM card. My guess is that like I think roaming, well, they have pay per use roaming, which is just absurdly expensive. I think it sometimes might be more challenging to implement, but maybe I'm just wrong. Yeah, maybe they would just include it or make it a super affordable add-on, like $5 for a gig or something.
I'm thinking something totally different. I'm either thinking one of two scenarios. Either they go the T-Mobile route, like no more borders, and it's just the same thing as if you were stateside.
Yeah.
Or they go the AT&T route when AT&T, I can't remember who they acquired down in Mexico, but basically if you're an AT&T customer, you get like unlimited calling and texting.
Yeah.
And like unlimited data down in Mexico. And I figured Mint might be able to pull something similar off.
Yeah, I just feel like Mint's already so cheap that if they were to add on Canada roaming, it would be like too good. Like this is an opportunity to just make a little bit extra cash. You're already getting these great subscribers. So I think from a business perspective, like I see them making it like a $5 or $15 add-on, $20 maybe. For a consumer side, I would love to see it included. And I mean, one important consideration is, let's say Mint has a pay per gigabyte agreement with T-Mobile. When a customer is in Canada, like they're not using data in the United States. So it's possible that if the pay per gig rates are pretty similar between Canada and Mexico, it wouldn't actually matter for the net cost of having that customer on the plans. So it could keep the cost the same, and maybe we'd see it. I don't know. I think I think this is at least 1 to 2 years out. Just considering how difficult it has been for Canada in general to get an MVNO.
Well, fingers crossed. And for people that are a part of the rewatch gang, I'm going to answer a question from one of our awesome Patreon members, Ryan, who is asking, is MobileX going to make their way to Canada too? And short answer is we really don't know.
We
MobileX
don't
hasn't
know. We hope so, Ryan. We really hope so.
MobileX hasn't really been too forthcoming as far as actual details on the roadmap of like what's going to happen. We don't even know what the finalized product looks like, to be honest.
We have absolutely no idea, but we do know that their promise or their mission is to achieve global roaming. And so I would say there is high probability they're in talks with Canada to get them included. They want Canada. That's probably a guaranteed yes. They definitely want it. But it's kind of about, is it possible to get their back end system and tool that they've built to integrate into the Canadian MNOs and their networks? And is it possible for them to reach an agreement? So I think, yeah, it's basically, we don't know. We want it to happen. They want it to happen. Will it happen? We got to wait and see.
I'm going to be spicy like I always am. And I'm just waiting for the part where something gets clipped and this gets shared on Twitter and I get freaking lit up for it. But I'm going to go out on a limb and say that MobileX, logistically speaking, from a cost standpoint, isn't going to be able to achieve what they're talking about doing, and that the end product ends up looking something close to what Airlu does right now.
Interesting. So what do you mean they won't achieve what they're looking to do? Is this for like roaming specifically?
So right now, from my understanding of what MobileX is saying, is basically everything's pay per use. And
I think like Google Fi, a better version of Google Fi, where it's like you activate on your MobileX line, you can use your phone, and you just use your phone. You don't have to think about it whether you're in the United States or you're traveling abroad, and it just works.
And based off that concept, it's like a flat cost. We'll say $5 a gigabyte.
Sure.
But the harsh reality of things is that doesn't work. Like Canada's not going to charge the same amount as the US does for a gigabyte, especially when we're talking about being able to, heck, even in the US, not all the carriers are going to give MobileX $5 a gigabyte rate, right? Like Verizon might give them 5, T-Mobile might give them 10 based off of how T-Mobile's acting, and AT&T might be 3. Like in Canada, it might all be $10 a gig. Like this idea doesn't work or doesn't make sense. That's
With
the
the
reason
variability. So you think it'll be more like Airlo, where they're basically bringing a marketplace together, and the rates are able to be different on a per country basis because the plans are tailored for that specific country.
Mm-hmm. I think it's going to look more like that from a logistical standpoint, just because it
Yeah.
has to. I mean,
it could. I mean, to be fair, Airlo does have their international plan, right? So one international SIM card. Rates are more expensive to cover, exactly as you mentioned, the fluctuation in pricing on a per network basis. I'm just going to put this on here, Dennis, so we can take a look. But 1 gig, 7 days, and let's see here, pricing 1 gig, 7 days for $10, 3 gigs, 15 days for 24. The month plan, 5 gigs, 30 days, $35. So it definitely goes up pretty considerably, but you do get roaming in 87 countries. So I'm optimistic, Dennis, that if Airlo can pull this off, maybe MobileX can as well.
I'm not saying that MobileX can't do something like this. I'm saying that they'll end up doing something like this,
Gotcha.
i.e. that their original
This is
talk,
the answer.
Yeah, like their original talk of what they want to do, Airlo's already kind of doing, in my eyes.
Yeah. No.
minus the part where Airlo doesn't offer texting and calling. That's the only difference.
Yeah. So I mean, it would even be more expensive probably for that too, because sometimes those rates are insane. I have no idea how.
But anywho, we touched on a wide variety of things. I know there's something that we want to do at the very end because it's spicy and people seem to enjoy it, but there's one more point that I want to touch on that's not in the doc, unfortunately.
That's fine. Yeah, let's do that.
Let's talk about the future of MVNOs on the T-Mobile network.
Sure. Yeah. What brings this up? Why do you think future of MVNOs?
Well, Q3 has come to a nice close as we go into Q4, and we got a chance to look at Verizon and AT&T and everybody's quarterly earnings and everything like that. And there's been lots of changes over the course of this year with the new T-Mobile. Specifically, what we're finding out is that T-Mobile is charging the most, it seems like, out of all the carriers for their MVNO agreements moving forward. Look at Cox, right?
I think that's the only example I can think of.
Cox is not the only example I can think of, but Cox is the most pivotal example of the one that I want to illustrate. Cox was able to get a cheaper deal with Verizon. T-Mobile wasn't playing ball. T-Mobile decided to be kind of a jerk about it and force them to come back to the table, even though they're not going to offer anything that Cox wants, right? But there are other carriers. Boost Mobile. Boost Mobile's another example, right? Boost found it cheaper or better off for them to literally go work out a deal with AT&T than to use the mandated merger agreement that was provided, right? So I kind of wanted to talk about, like, based off the way the new T-Mobile is acting, do you think it's possible that we see a very large decrease in the amount of T-Mobile MVNOs that are available on the market?
I don't think so. And there are two reasons for this. Number one, I think all the existing MVNOs will stay there. And I think they made their agreements not with the new T-Mobile, but with the old T-Mobile, the John Ledger T-Mobile. And I think those rates are either like significantly better or on par. Okay. Like literally Mint Mobile was the cheapest cell phone service to ever come out ever on T-Mobile network. We have Tello doing insanely affordable monthly plans on the T-Mobile network right now. So I think those are going to stay the same. I think what we're seeing, and this actually really echoes what you were saying, is we're seeing more and more MVNOs go to Verizon. Okay. US Mobile had like exponential growth in terms of their product and also their plan value and the features they've been able to offer. And we saw most recently, one of the newest MVNOs of them all, MobileX, they chose to partner with Verizon. And as you said, Cox was trying to go with Verizon. So I think two things. New T-Mobile is being a butt. I think that's what we've observed, and that's fine. And I think that Verizon is trying to be a stronger MVNO play. They purchased TracFone. They're working on Visible, and I think they're just trying to make better MVNO agreements. So I think that's kind of what's going on. But I don't think that's going to impact. So like future MVNOs will not be on T-Mobile, but I think existing ones will probably still kick around.
The way T-Mobile's acting, though, this is the impression I get from T-Mobile.
Yeah.
T-Mobile wants to do 5G sort of by themselves. They want people to be on postpaid T-Mobile or on T-Mobile-owned companies directly. So Metro, T-Mobile prepaid, or T-Mobile. If you're not one of those three, then T-Mobile doesn't want you, is the impression that I sort of get from T-Mobile. Like, I don't know the finer details of the MVNO points. Most MVNOs couldn't leak them, and if they could, we couldn't talk about it on the show. But based off of market movements and everything else, that's the kind of impression that I'm getting.
Sure.
Right.
And I would say from the merger, like, I think T-Mobile is just being a butt to Dish/Boost Mobile. Like, I think the rates are priced the way they are because T-Mobile wasn't playing nice with them. And hopefully those prices go down as they migrate to AT&T. But I think it was just like them specifically. I think the other, like, I guess my stance is current agreements are fine, but it seems like the new agreements are where we're seeing issues.
I'm gonna mention another point. T-Mobile's focused on growth, right?
Yeah.
They were having a rough quarter, which is why they whipped out the free line again, right?
They're like, oh, what? Oh, no, we're not looking good for this quarter. Hey, Phil, what do we? Oh, free lines? What's okay? Send it.
But here's the thing. T-Mobile would rather do free line deals than, say, play nice with Boost and get that revenue from that MVNO agreement. They lost like 8 million customers because they wanted to be poo-poo heads.
With that. Yeah.
right? Like they were okay doing that. And right off that, they did a really aggressive Metro PCS deal with the whole $25 a
Oh
line.
yeah, I remember that, dude. That was aggressive.
Basically, what I'm saying is like T-Mobile isn't really being nice to their MVNO partners. They are doing things that cannibalize and harm their own businesses. Heck, even people that run MVNO store or not MVNO stores, Metro stores were getting screwed over by T-Mobile. If you remember, not too long ago in the beginning of
Oh
this
yeah,
year.
I think honestly, I'll plug Sneeze channel here. He's been doing a great job covering that. I think Metro dealers have been experiencing some struggles, so shout out to them. Feel bad for them, and I mean, now that I'm pretty sure you can activate Metro lines in T-Mobile stores now. So yeah, it's this weird like T-Mobile is taking actions that, as you say, definitely present. They want you on one of two options: Magenta Max or basically like Metro if you're not a Magenta Max customer. I mean, they probably want you on Essentials and all that stuff, but
Right,
yeah.
but my point is that with this type of with this kind of relationship, this new relationship going forward that T-Mobile is forming with their partners, it kind of puts some uncertainty in the space of the business world, and I think it would bring on the question of, is it worthwhile staying with this kind of company when Verizon is being very aggressive with what they're offering, and even more so than anybody, AT&T, who was notorious for being poor to work with. No, seriously,
Yeah.
AT&T used to be terrible to work with, is now offering some of the better MVNO agreements. I mean, look at what Carlos was able to do with AT&T, right? He's not even
Yeah.
like
I
he's not,
I I will not call Carlos's agreement an MVNO agreement. Like that's a
well,
different agreement.
but I'm just saying he was a smaller player, right? And he was able to work out a great deal. Um, I'll use another example. Wing. Wing has been going through some very arduous times over the years, but they finally seem to have stabilized a little bit, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're going through Clearway Wireless and actually reselling their plans.
I'm sorry, who's Clearway? I'm sorry.
Yeah, so they sell business plans and they're the same plans that Wing offers. So, and you get a track phone branded SIM card in the mail when you order from Wing.
Ooh.
So I'm like I'll say like 80% confident.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know, Dennis. Like I feel like the agreements you're throwing out there's more to the story, possibly. Here, I'll show you exactly what I'm
All right,
talking
let's
about.
go back to Verizon then. Visible, Visible, US Mobile.
Dennis, pivot the story quickly. Here, yeah, so here's the 100 gig $60 plan that Wing is selling from Clearway Wireless. Anyway,
Okay.
Visible.
All right, Verizon then. Visible, US Mobile, Straight
MobileX.
Talk, MobileX. I'm blanking on somebody right now. Red Pocket.
Yeah.
Red Pocket. Like Verizon has a lot of Xfinity Mobile, right? Like
Xfinity Mobile. Those are the big ones. Xfinity Mobile, Spectrum Mobile. They
Spectrum
almost
Mobile.
had. I'm
Yeah.
blanking on the name of the third Cox. Well, what is that? What it was?
Yeah, it was Cox. It was going to be Cox,
Cox
Mobile.
Mobile.
Or
Oh,
whatever
that
they
just
wanted to call it.
yeah. Whatever. Yeah. Cox Wireless. That sounds better. But yeah. So I guess like I think existing MVNOs are fine. Future ones, it seems like T-Mobile, or excuse me, it seems like Verizon's offering better deals. Like, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think, as Ryan is mentioning here in the live chat, that Mint would be forced into Verizon? Like, would T-Mobile MVNOs migrate to these other networks? Like, what do you see going forward, Dennis?
So I think it's going to depend a little bit. Someone like Mint is too well attached to the whole T-Mobile brand. I don't see them changing necessarily. But for smaller players, like the Telos of the world, like the Tings of the world, right? Like Tello, we already know was moving anyway because of the whole Dish thing, right? And I think Ting was the same boat. But
Yeah.
insert X smaller provider, I feel like they might not decide to carry it anymore, or at the very least heavily discourage using the T-Mobile plan. Like maybe like a Red Pocket, for example, right? Red Pocket offers service on all three of the networks, right? Maybe Red Pocket for Verizon and AT&T customers gives you an extra 5 gigs of data not to go on the T-Mobile network, right? Or they just drop the
Yeah.
T-Mobile deal entirely, right? Because a lot of times with these like MVNO agreements, you're either doing one of two things. You're either buying a bulk amount of, like data basically on the network, right, to resell, or you're pegging a subscriber count to it, right? Well, if you're smaller, you're not going to necessarily be able to meet the subscriber growth, especially if you're splitting your base up across multiple options. So
Yeah.
this might be the stepping stone that forces you just to go with one network and call it a day. The best example of that would be US Mobile, right? Like US Mobile is doing Verizon and T-Mobile SIMs, right? Maybe US Mobile makes the business decision like T-Mobile's a pain in the butt to work with and decides just to go strictly with Verizon and call it
Yeah,
a day.
I would see them like they'd probably keep existing subscribers, but like phase out the option for new signups or something. But I don't know. I think it just offers them flexibility. I could see your point though. Like they seem to really like working well with Verizon, and it's been benefiting not only US Mobile but consumers. I think those are some really great options on the Verizon network. And yeah, I don't know. I think it's a pain in the butt to migrate customers. Like I think there's this vague understanding of I need a new SIM card. Why are they sending me this? Like
It
what's happening to my phone number?
it's a pain in the butt, and I was waiting for you to bring that up. It's a pain in the butt until you start talking about eSIM, where all you do is just
Oh,
upload a different little profile and bada bing, bada boom, problem solved.
ooh. That would be sick. I would love to see Verizon poach another MVNO with an eSIM play. But on the same token, like I think T-Mobile was one of the first people to allow MVNOs eSIM. Mint Mobile is the first MVNO that I'm aware of that had eSIM. Maybe save for Visible. I think Mint and Visible are the number 1 and 2 MVNOs with eSIM right now. We know US Mobile's working on it, but they've been working on it for a while, so it might be later. But yeah,
I
eSIM would be
mean,
sick.
T-Mobile was one of the first to support the feature, but it wasn't because they were the first to allow MVNOs. It's just that it just so happened that T-Mobile MVNOs were the first to support the feature. If that
Okay,
makes
okay, sure,
sense.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But like with that being said, look, I'm talking long term future because more likely than not, a company like Mint probably has some 20-year deal or something going on, right? I'm just
Yeah,
talking
I
about
mean, even if you sign up for a year, I think it's just super hard to like the
like
extra cost of a startup company for migrating customers and stuff. You really do want to stick with one network. If anything, Dennis, I could see them adding Verizon as opposed to leaving T-Mobile. Like they add Verizon as an option.
what I'm getting at is that the transition would be slow. Like,
Yeah.
i.e., the thing that would expedite the transition was if all phones started supporting eSIM, right?
Yeah, and that's not the case. And
Which is not the case.
the MVNOs have customers. I think we had Aaron North on the CMO of Mint Mobile, and he was like, "Yeah, we have one legacy OG 2007 iPhone user on our network right now." And so, yeah, I think people who go with MVNOs are oftentimes more budget focused, and their phone is probably older and may not support eSIM.
But I'm just saying that with the way T-Mobile's acting and seems to be moving themselves forward, that I think it's a real thing that might come up. I'm not saying that like a company like Mint Mobile would be the one, but more so companies smaller than Mint Mobile.
Sure, sure. I mean,
So
I would honestly love to see them on the Verizon. I think their bulk pricing on Verizon would be sick. And I think that Verizon with more MVNOs and C band is just like a tasty meal that is possibly being prepared.
definitely, but we talked a lot about a bunch of serious stuff. Now to move on to a topic that you guys all really enjoyed, and that's the segment of Devil's Advocate. So for people that missed it last week, basically the way this works is Stetson and I will talk about a specific carrier, but we're going to flip the rules. I.e., for example, last week I had to say positive things and defend T-Mobile since I was typically very negative against them. And
I
and
had to criticize Mint Mobile, my personal carrier.
right, Stetson had to criticize Mint Mobile, which he absolutely loves. But it's fun because that way you don't have to hear the same points from each of us, and sometimes we might think of something that the other one might have not even thought of. So
Sweet, sweet.
with that being said, Stetson picked out three possible options. I'll let you be the judge on which one you want to start with, Stetson.
Have we done AT&T? Did we do them last time?
I think we did do AT&T because
Or did we?
no, maybe we didn't. Look, you just pick AT&T.
Yeah, let's do AT&T. You typically, I feel like, say nice things about them.
Sure. So I'll
So,
criticize.
so you criticize and I'll defend.
Sounds good. All right, you want me to start? You want to start with a positive?
Yeah, let's start off on a positive note. AT&T has got physical stores, which makes it super easy to go in, sign up. You have a problem, you can speak directly one-on-one with a representative. They were super nice and helpful to me when I was signing up. and they can take care of everything for you, whether it's transferring data from your old phone to your new phone, adding a new line, or getting everything set up.
Okay. As my critique, AT&T has one of the worst billing systems across the industry, especially when we start talking about how their promos work. For example, if you were to take advantage of one of their iPhone deals, they don't start applying the credits till like 30 to 60 days later on your
Oh my
bill,
God. It's
which
so bad. It's like that actually happened to me. I signed up, 2 months went by, and then I started getting promo credits.
which is terrible because one, you end up paying for a phone that was supposed to be free, and two,
Well, they retroactively apply the credits.
well,
So let's say it's supposed to
but
be like, okay,
but two, the more important thing here is that if there really was an issue, you're out of your little return window to when you can return your phone back, right? Like, let's just say they
I
really
got you.
screwed the
Yeah.
pooch, you know?
Okay. Pro, most people keep their phones now for, I would say, 3 years. That's a great time. Used to be 2 years. I think is migrating to 3 years. Phones, I think the 13 could easily last 3 or 4 years, given its superb battery life and great features and performance. And AT&T is offering outstanding discounts for both new and existing customers on phones. So you can basically get the phone you want for free or close to free after the credits are eventually applied. And yeah, I think the trade-in deals are great for existing customers.
I
And
agree that
AT&T
they
was
have
the first to do that.
I agree that they have decent trade-in deals, but I think that the fact that you do 36 months is terrible, and also more importantly, they're charging more for their phones to begin with anyway, like the Pixel 6.
Well, it kind of nets out because you get it for the same price after the discount's more and the phone is more, so they net the same
But
ish.
okay, different critique to AT&T. Um, I really do not appreciate the fact that AT&T is so confusing with their pricing. Like as far as like what your bill is actually going to be. It's like this like game of charades whenever you just start up an
You
account.
could, I commented on them walking into a store. You could not walk into a store and ask what your first bill would be. Literally, no one will have any idea.
That's pretty rough. But you say one more positive and I'll think of one more critique while you do that.
Okay. Positive, outstanding network and great capacity, unlimited premium data on unlimited elite, and you get HBO Max included. And oh man, I'll just butter them up. They have the best discount for military and veterans, 25% off your total bill on any plan you want. So it's pretty nice.
Okay, I thought of my third critique. AT&T has the worst process for activating an eSIM.
Wait, you can actually activate an eSIM on their network?
No, seriously. Here's what you have to do to activate an eSIM. You ready, Stetson? If you want to do it online...
Wait, my seatbelt's not on.
Okay. If you want to activate eSIM, okay, and you want to go just do it over online, you have to have them mail you a QR code.
Wait, what? Dennis, you know you can just tap... I go to Mint Mobile, I tap download, I'm activated in like a minute tops, 60 seconds. You're telling me I have to wait days for them to mail me a physical QR code?
Yes, instead of just showing it on the screen, they mail you a QR code. And
Oh my
I wasn't
God.
even able to get it working properly. I had that whole... This was like... I don't even know how long ago at this point, but whenever I actually changed my plan to Elite, I walked to the store. It was this whole big rigmarole.
This monumental moment for Dennis in his wireless career. Like, I'm doing it, you guys. I'm going eSIM. Here we go, AT&T, baby.
Yeah, it didn't happen. I still have the physical SIM. No, I'm being dead serious. I ended up leaving with the physical SIM because it worked, and because they couldn't help me in the store to get eSIM.
Hey, I need my phone to work. Sorry, I don't want to wait like 3 days for your shipping.
Well, no, they had the QR codes in the store, but long story short,
God.
there was issues. But that was that whole when I made the Elite switch too. But
Yeah.
anyway, their eSIM activation process is horrendous. T-Mobile has probably one of the better.
Yeah.
T-Mobile has one of the better ones because you just go to the app and just if you have a SIM card inserted.
Oh yeah, I did that. I did a video on that. What am I saying? Go watch the video.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. Mint Mobile does it good. Verizon isn't in. I don't know how Verizon
I don't even
does.
know. I think honestly, Dennis, in the phone app, the hack is honestly getting a new phone and getting iOS 15. You can just go into your cellular settings, and I'm 93% sure there's an option. Maybe it's carrier dependent or it's plan dependent, but I'm pretty sure you can just go to like convert to eSIM.
Also, I will just say one other thing on the topic of like eSIM and plans and stuff like that. But AT&T's whole mix and match thing gets really wonky, as was seen by Stetson whenever he got
Oh
his
my
extra
god.
plan.
Jeez, that their mix and match is terrible. They literally like janked that together. They're like, wait a minute, Verizon is doing this, we should be doing this. And yeah, it's so bad. Don't
But
sign up on your primary line on unlimited starter. That's all I'll say. Do that one on Elite or something. Yeah.
real quick, circling back to normal before we move on to a different carrier to talk about. Despite everything I just said, I still recommend AT&T highly because their network is that darn good, and I
The
really
network
don't have.
is great. And like the truth is, yeah, the billing is weird, but once it gets itself ironed out, like it does make sense. It comes out to a reasonable cost per line.
I don't
I'll
have to
plug
talk to them,
You
which
don't have to
is.
talk to them. It's like it gets the job done. Like, could it be better? Yes. Is it a
And
bunch of
also,
old systems like janked together and built on top of each other? Yes, absolutely. Bottom line, your phone works when you want it to work. Existing deals for customers are pretty good, and you're probably going to have a good experience.
and also worth mentioning is that all those billing debacles resulted in them crediting me literally months of service where I didn't have to pay anything.
Okay,
So,
I feel like that's great for you. I'm not 100% sure everyone else is going to have that situation.
hey, listen, T-Mobile gave me a $25 credit saying the hack didn't exist. AT&T was like, "We'll credit your full darn bill." So
Yeah.
I can only speak for what the company did for me. But
Honestly, Dennis, here's just a funny take. I bet AT&T didn't have any other options for credit. Like they didn't know how to credit anything other than your full bill. So they're just like, "Yep, here you go."
okay,
I don't know.
all right. But you guys
Next
got to hear
carrier.
me critique AT&T, which I feel like I critique everybody, but
Yeah,
whatever.
I
You got
I
to hear.
honestly would like to see them add a little bit more like perks, I feel like. And I know we don't really like perks on this channel, like we just want good plans.
But like,
I
what would they
think
even add? Like, what do you feel like the plans are
yeah,
missing?
I don't know. I just feel like Verizon is packing in so much. Maybe they could do something international, maybe more hotspot. I don't know. The military discount's pretty good.
I mean, like seriously, what are they? I mean, the only thing I can think of
If they could do
is
Spotify, I think that'd be really nice. Like get something music in there.
no. I was gonna say the only thing I could think of was the global roaming, like how
That would be
T-Mobile
nice
does.
too. Yeah.
That's the only thing I could think of that would be useful that they might be missing. But even then, it's like, how often are you traveling?
Right now, Zip.
And then also, we already agreed when you're traveling, it's better just to go with something like.
Yeah. Even on T-Mobile. So it's like, yeah. I mean, maybe, I don't know. They're good. People like them. I want to see better 5G. That's my number one thing, and we're just waiting for C-band. Like it's just a wait game.
But dude,
AT&T
their LT is already performing as good as
is already
N41.
great, but it's just like,
No,
why are you?
it's literally performing as good as N41.
Yeah, but why are you throwing a 5G and 5GE icon when I don't even have it? Like,
Hold on, real quick. I just want to show this to highlight something. This is inside my house, and this is
oh,
not the best.
here we go.
Hold on,
We should
this
get
is.
a tally for how many times you run an AT&T speed test.
I'm
On
not
5G.
running a speed test. I'm showing a speed test. It's not the fastest download speed I've ever seen, but the upload is something that was very, very good.
Here you go.
72 megabits per second on the upload over AT&T.
That's pretty good.
That's insane.
I don't even
That
know what I would get right now. All right. Let's pick a new carrier.
all right.
And
Let's do. I like the one that you picked, which is MobileX.
yeah.
Yeah, let's do that.
Do you want who wants to criticize?
I feel like I've been ripping them a new one.
You've been really hard. You're like, Peter, I'm sorry. It's just not gonna work. So we're switching it out. Also, Chame is here. He's excited about C-band. Chame, I'm so with you. Next month, next year is gonna be awesome. All right, Mobile X. Dennis, I would like you to please start out with something positive to say about Mobile X.
All right. Uh
Oh, gee, this would be so easy for me. Dennis, let me know if you need help. I can tag team.
all right, I thought of one. I think that the ability to have access to all the networks so you can constantly switch and theoretically not have to worry about having slowed down data because you have access to literally all the networks is something that's truly remarkable. It's in some ways better than
Wait,
Fi.
you mean global networks?
No, domestically.
No, they're just on Verizon.
Well, the whole point of MobileX is that, and Peter talked about this, is he's supposed to be working out deals with other domestic carriers to switch between.
Yeah, I think their focus is probably going to be international. Like they partnered with Verizon. They announced they partnered with Verizon. I don't know if they're going to make a deal with T-Mobile with how he's been talking.
Well, if you remember, he was tweeting about how you won't have to worry about priority data anymore because deprioritization won't be an issue since they're going to be switching. One of the
You think they're going to be switching?
It was one of the buzzwords that we used. Remember, we talked about the whole thing about how it's not going to be practical. It was one of the buzzwords he used, network steering and all these other key.
Yeah, all right.
Hey, listen, MobileX, we don't know anything about, but this is based off one of his tweets, okay?
You're saying, all right, it sounds like ultimate thing is don't have to worry about priority data. Execution of that likely being switching networks, but not 100% confirmed.
No, there was a key term, and it's blanking my mind. We'll have to work back.
Yeah. I remember that. So you're thinking,
there was a key term that he used, and I can't remember what it was because my mind is blanking at the moment. But literally, the term literally means to switch between networks, and
gotcha.
But I'll have to go rewatch that episode and then put a comment or something in this episode to timestamp or something. But let's just assume that's the case because MobileX doesn't talk about anything. So yeah, I look forward to
that. Criticism. Okay, well, it doesn't exist yet. So that's number one problemo. You can't sell customers a service. It doesn't exist. Let's say it exists. I think the problem right now is people want unlimited. They can get unlimited for as low as $25. They don't want to think about their usage. And it sounds like MobileX is doing a usage-based billing system. So I'm just concerned it'll be possibly expensive and possibly confusing for customers. Like, how do you communicate data usage to someone? Carriers have been trying forever. I think they just gave up and gave into unlimited.
So devil's advocate to that, I think that the paid per use model can be very effective if you're someone that's always on.
Someone should cut to the previous episode where Dennis is like riffing on this. Dennis, please continue.
Well, the whole point of devil's advocate is I'm supposed to. I can't even say it with a fucking straight face.
It's gonna work, right, Dennis?
I can't say it with a straight face. All right, let me try to say it with a straight face.
Okay, he's got it.
Okay. So I think the pay-per-use model can make a lot of sense if you're someone that uses a lot of Wi-Fi and just needs a way to talk to people. You don't want to use some sketchy third-party like app, like I don't know, insert free text me now app. You know, maybe you just want something that's real easy and you only need a little bit of data. Right? Like, why pay for unlimited if you're only going to use maybe 500 megabytes? Right?
So it sounds like it's going to be a great plan for people who just don't use their phone.
Yeah.
No. No, I think criticism though. Stores. Like, how are people going to sign up? I think the big advantage to the MNOs, Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile, is that there are physical store locations. Customers can go and sign up and get that experience. And it's unclear right now if MobileX will offer those experiences, where they're going to be. And I know it'll just take time to ramp those up. So I think doing things online could be challenging for people. So I hope they are able to accommodate a variety of situations and get good customer service and support.
All right, I thought of one that I'm actually generally exciting about and was more interesting to me. And it's the roaming aspect of things. I think that that's the area of opportunity that is really exciting for MobileX because, truly speaking, there's no real carrier that makes that seamless transition of global travel as easy that it could theoretically be.
Yep. My con, they're only on Verizon right now. It's congested. It's slow in some markets. And
I'm going to disagree with you. I'm going to disagree with you right now about Verizon being congested. From my experience, Verizon has had pretty solid capacity overall. I'm not saying you're getting you're not getting 700 megabits per second 24/7, but you're definitely not getting unusable speeds either. It's been pretty rock solid, and you know there's a lot of places where Verizon's deploying C-band. and they've been deploying what's the unlicensed one? Help me.
CBRS.
CBRS, thank you. They've been deploying CBRS quite a lot, as well as C-band, which has been very impressive from a capacity standpoint as far as enhancements go.
Yeah. Let's see. One more criticism. I don't know. It's like it's hard to criticize something that's not even here.
I feel like that's not true because you were easily able to pull some of the ones that I criticized them for. I mean, realistically speaking, you're the optimist all the time, and I'm like the.
It's so true.
And
I'm like so optimistic on MobileX.
Like you're always looking at things from Cloud9, and I'm over here like, here's reality. Like, yeah, like it's not going to be easy.
I guess like maybe overhyping and under delivering. I feel like we've seen that with US Mobile and their eSIM and 5G access. Right now, I feel like Peter is hyping this up, which makes sense. It's marketing sense. I'm not going to disagree with it. But I'm just like, I really hope it delivers, and I'm just concerned I don't know.
Dude, he's hyping it up so much, and that's the thing, right? Like hype is fine, but don't hype it up beyond like the realm of possibilities. Like, for example, I'm just gonna use a great example, right? US Mobile, right? They hyped up true unlimited data on the prepaid plans, and they had to introduce the 75 gigabyte cap.
Yeah.
The 75 gigabyte cap isn't actually bad. I don't care what the audience says. I think that's plenty.
It's plenty. I would use their ultra wideband. We weren't working together yet, Dennis, but they announced ultra wideband July 2020. Ultra wideband 5G access over a year ago, and it just shipped. And like they were hyping it up then.
Or what's another feature? Wi-Fi calling. Right, like
yeah, who knows when that? Yeah, whatever. Priority data, I think they said they're going to have. So
priority data, like legit. Like if we remove all the hype, though, right? Like US Mobile is still a product that is a great service that I would recommend. That I would recommend, right? But when we try to compare it to how it's portrayed versus what it delivers, it's
like there's a huge difference. They're like, guys, we are Verizon. We're like postpaid service. You go to sign up, and it's like, this is actually a prepaid service. Like, so I totally get that. At the same token, I think Peter is genuinely like super enthusiastic, super passionate about this. And I think when you're enthusiastic and excited about something, that naturally bleeds out and builds hype. And the other token is, I think literally no one knows about it. Like I could ask my roommate right now if he knows about MobileX, and maybe he remembers that I mentioned it in passing. But I also think that like 90% of consumers aren't aware. So I think you do need to build awareness to some degree.
Going back to normal real quick. I just want to say my biggest problem that I have with Peter and MobileX is that the way MobileX is being described is in the same vein that like I would describe what I would do if I was a millionaire, right? Like if I won the lot.
What do you mean? Yeah.
Like if you just have a conversation sometimes over a beer with friends, like, man, if I won the lottery, I would go to Japan and get myself some nice whiskey. I would try out these really fancy.
Oh, this is like looping back to the overhypes. Like
no, not overhyped. It's more like this is what I would do, but like there's no like work breakdown structure. There's no timelines. There's no talk about anything as far as what the actual product is going to do. Like there's nothing that's going out to like say like what it actually is. Like right now it's an idea. He worked out a deal with Verizon, which is great. Like that shows that he's actually doing something. That's cool. And I get that he doesn't want to share maybe too much because he's worried about competitors. But on the same token, it's actually been over a year now since we had him on. And there's been nothing really.
Oh, dude, they got a website. Come on, man. They got a website.
Listen, it'd be in the same vein of like, we had our episode, our what if plans, if best phone plans, like we were able to make our own plans, right? That's what Peter's MobileX is like, right? We talked about like what our ideal plans would be. And there was more detail on that than what MobileX has told us about what their plans are going to be, right? Like we don't know literally anything outside of the company is going to be called MobileX, and they worked out a deal with Verizon. That's all we know. That's it. Everything else is just like, I would like to try this. I would like to do this. I might be able to do this. This is something I kind of want to do, but like, there's no like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, I want to be able to roam on all the carriers across the globe, but like, there's no evidence to support how he would be able to do that. I want to be able to do pay per usage, but there's no evidence on how that makes logistical sense and why you shouldn't just do a data bucket, as we talked about, based off of what Xfinity Mobile pays Verizon for a gigabyte a day likely, or what have you. So like, that's my biggest gripe. There's nothing in stone. There's no path. There's no milestones. There's nothing. There's nothing like to follow on.
Dennis, they have something in the works just for you. I want you to know that. It's coming.
Like, what I would rather see is a milestone graph of where we're at. Like, literally, it could be real simple, almost like you were getting like a package dealer from UPS, right? Like,
it sounds like you want to be like an angel investor, so you get the Kickstarter pamphlet of like, here's where we are, here's how much money we made.
Well, honestly, that's what I would want to see, right? Aren't they? They're going to be a public company, aren't they?
I'm not 100% sure. I mean, like, US Mobile's still private, Mint Mobile's private, so it's unclear to me what Peter wants to do. I think he likes having a lot of control, and so it might stay private for that, but we'll see.
I mean, but that's what I would want to see, though, right? Like, hey, we're in the process of working out deals. Hey, we're in the process of, I don't know, hiring X, Y,
employees, yeah.
You know,
you'd have to be on the inside for that, Dennis. You know they're not going to share that. Like, US Mobile never shared any of that.
I mean, I feel like that's not true. US Mobile shared a lot when they were doing the millimeter wave. Like,
yeah, well, that's because they promised it a year ago, and we're like, guys, they said they were working on it for 11 months. Like, there was no timeline. They said it was coming out in like next month, and then it was like 3 months later.
I don't know, but like, when companies, okay, I'm gonna think I got a good example of a company that shares a lot. Granted, it doesn't mean it's turned into fruition, but they share a lot.
Okay.
It's the cable operators, okay? Let's look at Comcast with their mission to deploy DOCSIS 4.0 and get 10 gigabit internet, right? Now, we're years off from that happening, right? But Comcast continues to share milestones publicly, where they tested out their first virtual CMTS. They talked about the test where they were able to achieve 2 gigabytes over coax, right? Symmetrical. And they talked about the market that was in, right? They shared when they got a partnership with specific key vendors to get the equipment necessary to deploy on their network, right? AT&T is another example that shares publicly when they achieve milestones to reach their UVerse goals for fiber expansion. I get these are public companies, but they're still sharing it, and they don't care if the competition knows what they're doing or who they're working with. They're still sharing it anyway, right?
Sure.
As far as private companies go, you know, Mint shares a lot all the time when they work out deals, right?
What do you mean?
Well, like, are you still there?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, you froze.
This is like Xfinity Wi-Fi, by the way. It just happened. I'm sorry. We're testing it out. It's for the review now.
Well, it's been good so far. I didn't notice a difference until this moment. So
there was some lag on for me on your end. So I would give it like a B+, I would say.
But for Mint, like, you know, they share when like they do big changes on their phones and stuff like that.
I don't know. I feel like, dude, they just do it. They're just like, hey, we have a new unlimited plan. Here it is. Bam. Like, buy it today. There's no like.
Have you seen their Reddit? Like when they talk about like features and like other things. Like,
okay, yeah, Reddit's pretty good. Reddit,
like
yeah,
their Reddit, like,
hey, we're working on security. Like, hey, this is important to us.
Yeah, 2-factor when that happened. They talked about milestones. eSIM was another thing, right? When eSIM first came out, they were very active on Reddit talking about like, here's our milestones. You know, we just got done verifying things with T-Mobile, and now our developers are working. Like Mint was very active on Reddit, and they're a private company as far as I'm aware. So
sure, yeah,
Mint could do it. MobileX can do it. I get these are not the same level of scale. Like, we're talking about individual features, but like even when they updated the website, Mint talked about it. Like the website, right?
Sure.
I don't know.
I think I'm excited to see what Peter does. Love Peter. Love what he's doing. He's just trying to make cell phone plans more affordable. So we'll see how that manifests.
I think what we need, and it's this way, because Peter's going to destroy me on Twitter. I'm calling it. He's going to destroy me. And I'm not trying to be offensive, but I think what we really need is it's been over a year. We should work on getting Peter back on so he could tell us, maybe be able to tell us more to satiate some of your hype and my concerns on like how this is actually going to be viable and be different and unique from the already established solutions in the market.
Sure thing. And I think that's honestly a great note to kind of wrap up this episode. Dennis, you want to kind of close this out here?
Yeah, so I just want to thank everybody that was part of the hashtag 2Live crew. For that, I mean our fellow Patreon members.
Yeah,
And if you're
Ryan and Shame here, and Hector.
and Hector. And if you're part of the hashtag rewatch crew, please make sure you're giving this a nice thumbs up and leaving a comment. I do a pretty decent job at looking at comments later on and responding. If you're not already a member, highly encourage becoming a member of the Patreon. This way you could also be one of the members to see the podcast when we do them live
You
and
get
comment.
live podcast access. You get unlimited lifetime access to the cell phone plan comparison chart. I already shared the full results to this 5G speed test video. I just have to make individual videos for those different results. Tons of extra bonus content. I think it's awesome.
Discord access.
Discord.
Which is huge. The discount to lowest bill
Yeah.
that we talked about earlier.
We're doing monthly Discord voice chats, by the way. That's like, I really liked the last time we did that.
Yeah, so it just started where we literally go into a voice room and literally we just talk to you guys. Like legit me and Stetson are talking. We just
But you're here with us. It's great.
Yeah. It's really cool.
I don't know, if you're interested in that, you can join at the link right now.
But with that being said, we'll see you all. Well, you guys will be watching this on Friday, but we'll be seeing you all tomorrow on Thursday for our after show at 7 p.m. And yeah, that's it. Do you have anything else you want to say?
I think that's it. That was wonderful, Dennis. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching. Let us know what you think of the Devil's Advocate section. We've been having a lot of fun with it. And let us know if you have other sections for ideas to include in the podcast, or if you have questions or topics, just drop them in the comments section down below. We look at everything, and maybe you'll hear us talking about it on the next show. With that said, I'm Stetson.
And I'm Dennis.
And we look forward to talking to you in the next one. Peace.